People nowadays mistake being rude with being a bad b*tch. I've had the horrible experience of meeting both rude girls who think they're being bad bitches and people who excused their behavior, and I truly don't understand how rudeness became such a popularized thing and labeled as being empowering. I truly don't see how being unpleasant is being powerful, or how being rude is being honest. I'm aware that my shyness and ability to stay quiet for hours can be irritating to some people. Oh, and reading, they hate it when I open up a book too, but there's really no need to be unnecessarily rude thinking it will make you look good and cool. I don't understand how these people can go to bed knowing they make other people go to bed with a heaviness in their chest. I would say being kind, encouraging people, and radiating light to those who need is what being worthy and empowering is. Treating others the way you want to be treated is so important. Since some of you are asking for examples, these are not just people standing up for themselves, they're bullies who bully continuously and made me go through eating disorders until I was skin and bone and made fun of my parents for not having much money. Edit. A big hug to all of you and thank you for the awards. This is crazy. Edit. To anyone who claims to never meeting people like this and that they don't exist and that bullied people live in a false reality, congratulations, you're incredibly privileged. Try going through all these comments and read about other people's experiences before denying them. Golden rule: treat people how you wish to be treated. Rude people don't respect themselves, so they won't respect others with basic manners. That's their issue, not yours. Anyone who calls themselves a bad bitch is most definitely not a bad bitch. People often confuse telling it like it is with just having no manners. They think flapping their mouth without a filter makes them look like they have backbone, but it just shows they have no class. In high school, I dated a bad bitch 10/10 would not do again, and would not recommend it to anyone. Looking back at it, it's embarrassing what I put up with and what she would do/say. Yeah, notice how tons and tons of Hollywood movies these days have a singular female side character that's supposed to be spunky or whatever, but just comes off as annoying and unlikable. It's almost like the producers are scared of writing female protagonists with actual emotion, depth, and strengths and weaknesses, so they relegate the female actors to unimportant side roles, and give them a couple snarky lines to show girl power or something. I don't understand how plain rudeness is a character trait we're trying to normalize. Often come across people who say it like it is and have no filter. Usually they are just self-centered arses who are too thick, or don't care, that their opinions will not change anything, and they just come across as spoiled children. Nowadays was the same when I was a young teenager 15 years ago, and I doubt it way any different in generations before. Met a dude and the first thing he did was film me and ask for me to buy him chicken nuggets. Obviously I said no and told him to buy his own chicken nuggets. The dude got so offended. I don't understand tbh. I know girls that body shame other girls, lower their self-esteem, worsen people's mental health, gossip non-stop, and even start going after boys that come from different groups than them and think somehow they are better than everyone. A bad bitch is someone that lifts themselves up while lifting people under them up as well, not by tearing them down. It's just bullying, and their only source of happiness comes from tearing people down to make themselves feel better. They have horrible coping skills. I think reality needs to hit them so they realize behaving like that won't get them anywhere in life, far at least. Being polite is social lubrication. Be rude and expect a lot of social friction. Simple choice. First of all, how old are you and who do you hang around? If you're still in HS, then sure. I get it. Kids are mean and immature and you can't really escape that. But nowhere in the regular world will someone chastise you for reading a goddamn book, lol. Edit. It appears you are in high school. Don't worry, friend. Once you're an adult, the world vastly changes. You can control with whom you surround yourself, and people will have more shit to worry about than you being quiet or reading a book. I hate it when they say I'm just honest. I say what I think. Well, I'm honest, and I say what I think more often than not, but I guess I just don't think negative thoughts constantly like they must. If what I think is only going to hurt, with no other purpose, I try to just not blurt it out. This is not unpopular, my guy. I usually see it as people who don't know how to be assertive and confuse assertion with aggression. Typically it's someone who has been or is part of a group that's expected to be passive, so they find asserting themselves empowering, but because they're actually being aggressive, they're just rude as fuck. Like, you don't need to shut up and take someone's shit, but the correct response isn't bitch fuck off either. I used to be that person. Especially in the beginning of high school. For me, it was my insecurity putting up a front. Late high school I realized it wasn't cool and it only secluded me from everyone. I can happily say I've noticed that shit quality about myself and am kind. You don't have to tell people you're nice well from that shitty persona I had before. It's a way of reminding myself I'm not that person any longer. You are right, it's a lot more empowering to be kind yet have the ability to stand your ground when necessary. Word. I completely agree, but since most people here are agreeing with you, I'll make an observation. This isn't going away anytime soon. The only thing that we can do about it is be nice to other people. It gets extremely hard to do so sooner or later, but that's literally all we can do. A badass move was that calm black guy bird watching reacting to that crazy white lady with her dog in Central Park. The ability to remain calm is a massive power move. People don't care about others these days. We've adopted a very self-centered approach to life. I blame social medias and lack of parental discipline. Sure, there's other causes. But I fully agree. I live BYB, do unto others as you'd have done to you. Absolutely bonkers. People support that shit. I am like you, quiet. I'm considered one of the smart kids in my high school and have gotten shit in the past because of it. I'm lucky that there's only 60 kids in my high school. In my own experience, I feel like it comes from a lack of self-awareness. People have this idea in their head of how they think they look, but in reality everyone else is taking it differently. Wow. In the midst of the craziness of the world, this needed to be said more than ever. Thank you. And don't forget that people like to call theses rude bitches queens. SMH, I'm not sure where you're posting from, but in the US, the rudest, loudest, mouth highest folks are usually the biggest cowards, and social media has just made it 100 times worse. Or a bad bitch with a narcissistic, self-absorbed bitch that doesn't care about the environment she's making a scene in because she's in a world by herself. The sad part is that sooner than later they will in fact hit the wall and nobody will be willing to tolerate them anymore. There's nothing more pathetic than someone learning to be nice to people at the ripe old age of 29.